Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and we're live a little bit later than what I originally anticipated. We took a little longer getting set up here. It's Thursday evening. It's the live show. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka Gotbot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, Transformers Collectors, NL, and of course, me everywhere. And while you're at it, while you're hitting that subscribe button, hit that notification bell too, man, because it lets you know when content of all kinds goes up here on the channel. And we are just about to embark upon Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada. So for anybody who is joining us that is Canadian and celebrating the Thanksgiving holiday this coming weekend, happy Thanksgiving. To you who are watching from other parts of the world where your Thanksgiving is later, not just the US, there are other countries where it is later, consider this an early Thanksgiving. Now, we have a few things that we are going to cover here. A lot of it tonight is, this wasn't a huge news heavy week, so a lot of it tonight is actually going to be like smaller things. Normally, this is when I would give a preview for the next episode of Universal Collision. However, unfortunately, episode 6 is not ready to go yet. It's been extremely busy, and it's going to be extremely busy for a little while coming up. I'm still trying to work on it, but trying to find the time to get the editing and the voice work done is brutal here lately. So I'm just going to take a second. I'm going to just set up. You guys know how this goes. I'm just going to set up a couple of things here to get us sorted away so that we can get going and try and get everything covered fairly, hopefully, fairly quickly here tonight. Hopefully. Green Turtle Gaming, hey, it's great to see you. David, what? Never clicked on the notification. So, Marco, great to see you again. You were here last week. Larkin, very happy. You know what? I'm glad, Larkin, that you're here because I'll be interested to hear your take on this. I was recently asked a question, and I'll cover it now, even though it's not on my list of things to cover. What is the worst injury you've gotten from customizing? And I don't know exactly what my worst injury from customizing really is. However, I could tell you where I got the most injuries. Some time ago, I did a custom where I turned Generations Nightbeat into an actual headmaster using the Titan's Return Nightbeat head. And in cutting out and gluing the sections there, I ended up with my crafting knife cutting my hands ever so many times. Luckily, they weren't deep gashes. They were small nicks. Now, I've had times where I've cut my hand using a crafting knife before, but never so many times as I did there. It stung for a good week. So that's where I got the most. I don't know if it's my worst, but it's the one that stands out to me the most. Larkin, I'd love to know what yours is. Is your recent finger injury the worst injury you've had during a custom? Let me know as we go through here. Bumblebee's great to see you. What? Bring it once more. You happy, man? All for you, buddy. All for you. David, I think I said hi to you. Maximal 10, it's great that you're here. I did not buy that arc-powered Optimus yet. I honestly, the only thing I would want it for is the arc. It's not worth $70 bucks, $75. I'm not sure. I think it's $69.99. I don't think it's worth that. Cybermetic Geek, happy to see you too, my friend. I have to just make another adjustment here. Bear with me a little bit here, guys. Thank you, Larkin. Happy Thanksgiving. I know that you're in the US, but I appreciate you saying it nevertheless, because it is, that time of year for us here. Have you ever Cybermanic Geek, I don't know. Are you asking me or Larkin about if we've ever had a Gundam? I've never had a Gundam, ever. Not once. I've seen the kits. I've never had one. I feel like that's... I've seen Thu jump down that rabbit hole, and I don't know, man. I'm not sure. Well, I had to ask Larkin the injury question, David, because he's the main other customizer that I know here, man. None I've never customized. Fair enough, Green Turtle Gaming. Yeah, but like that's just injuries, Green Turtle Gaming. Like spraining your ankle is just an injury. You didn't get that injury from doing a custom, man. Sam, happy to see you, my friend. Busy, Sam. Extremely busy. How have things been? Extremely. Very good. Excellent, but extremely busy. Very much looking forward to a long weekend. Kato, glad that you're here, buddy. I have not yet checked out Kato's Impact review, though I am very intrigued to check that out. If you guys haven't checked it out, you also should do that as well. Going down here. My recent one, I had 3 stitches. Oh, 3 stitches. All for the sake of customizing. That's rough, man. That is rough. As we go down here. Sam, how do I feel about RID 2000? Indifferent. It was a fine series, short-lived. It's all right, I guess. I'm really not familiar with like any of the figures from it, though I do know that they like are from a time when they were built very well and they do have a good reputation, but I'm really not familiar with them. But you know, if you're happy to be getting them and you're excited about it, and I'm excited for you, brother. It's been a long day, man. Thank you, Kato, for the happy Thanksgiving. Much appreciated. Maximal 10. Oh, Maximal 10. Yeah, Maximal 10 does customizing too. Absolutely. He builds a lot of like G1 figures from parts, a lot of reconstruction. So this would be an interesting answer, I suspect, as well. A burn from cutting. A burn from cutting down a screw. Yeah, that would be bad. That would be bad. For Bugley? Really? Yeah. You gotta watch out using those rotary tools. Like, I'm happy to have it. I'm tickled to have it. It's been a godsend at certain times, but you gotta be careful with them for sure. There's still a lot I need to learn about it. What? I used lead paint for a custom. That sounds like a bad idea, man. But it does explain an awful lot if you use lead paint. It explains an awful lot. You're welcome, Kato. Absolutely. I loved your Mirage. Your look at Mirage. I'm very much looking forward to taking a gander at Impactor when I have the time. You should try a Gundam kit. If one ever comes my way, I'll give it a try. That's all I can say. I don't see you're saying they're fun and relaxing, David, but like I feel like a Gundam kit is about as fun and relaxing as if you saw the thumbnail, you already know this, as these. This is my newest Toyhax set. This is for Triptychon. Event Progenitor provided this to me. It's a lot. Like, if you know the set, then you know what this set is like. If you don't know the set, like all of this, and there's even like more back here, all of this is part of it. It's huge. It's going to be brutal to do. It's going to look beautiful, but it's going to be brutal. Now, some people find putting on those labels therapeutic. I find it brutal. Absolutely brutal. If a Gundam, from what I've seen, is as challenging as that, then there's nothing therapeutic about it. Frustrating, but it won't be anything therapeutic. Absolutely not, David. I disagree, my friend. I don't know. You need good hand-eye coordination, I think. And I do not have that at all. The Earthrise boxes look amazing. They do. Green Turtle Gaming, I agree. I love the color on them. They're very much like the Siege boxes, if you guys haven't seen them yet. But the coloring is beautiful, at least for Grapple and Starscream. Still not sold on that Starscream, though, man. I'm still not sold on it. I like the alt mode. I'm not sold on the robot mode for it. It goes up in an hour. You haven't missed it yet. Oh, good. Oh, it was set as a premiere, was it? Oh, good. Kato says it goes up an hour. I guess it was set as a premiere. I just noticed the thumbnail, and I didn't notice anything else. Hey, Peter. Glad that you're in here, my friend. What's up? This is it. We're doing the live show. We're going to go through everything I got here and see what we got. I'm going to say no, Cybernetic Geek. I'm going to say that's not good for anybody. Something just occurred to me. Actually, I know you've mentioned other Transformer YouTubers before, but I don't think I've ever heard your thoughts on Chris McFeely. Chris McFeely, for those who don't know, if you don't know, and I can't imagine anybody in here not knowing, he does the basics. And I think he does a good overview. I think he does a great overview, actually. Some of his content now is getting dated because he goes up to like the most recent of information. And a lot of things, you know, if the most recent was from 2016, then maybe it needs to be updated. But like, it's still an awesome source. It's he does a lot of research, and his basics is actually pretty in depth. I'm not super familiar with him, but I do know that he's a fantastic resource to learn about characters and history and to get a lot of facts cleared up. So that's my take on him. He does tremendous work and a real service to the community. Going down here a little bit. Let's see. I've never got I've never really gotten a Toyhax set until Event Progenitor, Green Turtle Gaming, until Event Progenitor provided me with these. Honestly, I had never gotten a Toyhax set. The shipping to here is kind of expensive. I did have one figure, and it was, of all figures, Generations Chop Shop, and he came with a set on him, and I knew then that I liked it and that it was beautiful. And I think that they do tremendous work and amazing sets. The Triptychon one here, I'm very, very excited about, even though I know that it's going to take me a while. Like, don't be looking for this review too soon, because it's going to take a while to put all of this on. And honestly, when I do get some free time now, as minimal as it is, I'm putting a lot of the energy into content for you guys. Most importantly, Universal Collision, which makes the free time a lot more challenging, because any other free time I got is really spent with the family. Let's see, not customizing related, but once in shop class, I sanded my finger. Ow! The piece I was sanding slipped out of my grasp and my hand went in. Oh, Marco. Oh, gosh, that hurts just hearing it, man. That's brutal. How long have I been collecting, Peter? I had a couple of figures in 2009 from the Revenge of the Fallen line, but I didn't really get into it then. I had a couple of small figures. I got really kind of back into it in 2012 with the Fall of Cybertron Soundwave. I thought that it looked like what I remembered as a kid. It was stylized, but it looked close enough that it got me back in, and I got him. And then I said, well, Jazz looks good. Optimus looks good. And then I discovered the online community, and I realized, wow, there's millions of us. And that's kind of how I got back into it. Not to mention that it was around that time when I met Starscream wife, at the time Starscream girlfriend, and really she sort of encouraged me, like, if you have a love and a passion for this, man, go for it. And that's always the advice I give to you guys. If you have a love and a passion and an interest for something, enjoy what you enjoy in life, man, because you only live once, so you might as well be happy. Let's see, I'm going to be getting all of Wave 1 of Earthrise. Good for you, Green Turtle Gaming. I'm not sold on all of Wave 1. Most of them, but not all of them. Grapple, I think I'm going to get. I'm not sold on Starscream. I need to see more. The deluxes, I'm not sold on Cliff Jumper. I'm afraid he's going to be too big. And I don't like the alt mode for him in the least. It does not look like Cliff Jumper. However, I absolutely adore getting Ironworks and Wheeljack. I am blown away by Wheeljack. Although I've heard some people say that they find him very kibbly. I don't. I think he looks amazing. The Optimus, it's fine, but if he has gray hands, I'm out. I don't like the yellow eyes either. That would have to be customized. I don't know. Honestly, my Optimus, my Siege Optimus that I've customized with the Second Chance trailer sort of fills my need. I don't know. Again, I'll have to see more of Optimus and I'll have to see more of Starscream. However, that being said, that's my personal taste. And honestly, if somebody's into it, I can certainly, absolutely 100% understand why. The Starscream very much looks like the Classics mold upsized. And that was a great mold for its time. Dated now, needed improvements, especially with the articulation. That being said, even if I'm not in for it for Starscream, I can see that mold very easily giving us new versions of the cone heads, better than the Siege mold would. And I could see getting all 3 cone heads using that as the base mold and be very, very happy with it, because I do think it's a good mold. I just don't know if I like it better than the Siege mold for Starscream. But to each their own, you know? But I look forward, like Green Turtle Gaming, like I look forward to seeing what you come up with, man, because it's honestly what other people say that I think is going to, like, here's the thing. I'm going to have to see what you guys say before I decide if I'm in on it or not. Repros would be amazing, though clear plastic is a pain to cast. Repros for what would be amazing, Maximal 10? I missed something there, buddy. Or are you still having a conversation with David? What did you? I have not seen Joker, though I want to see it because I've heard it's absolutely brilliant. Transformers explained, new channel, good stuff. Interesting, Kato. I'll check it out when I get a chance, my friend. Solid plastic for repros. Okay, so the repros are, I guess, G1 cast. I think actually, David, it's interesting. You and I were talking a while ago, and I was telling you about a guy who does some casts, and I didn't get back to it. I'm sorry, I didn't get back to you with the name. I've been slammed and have not at all had an opportunity to get back to you with contact information. I think it was you that I was talking to, but I got the name of the guy from Maximal 10. So you can, ask him about it if you are so inclined. And Maximal 10, you know who I'm talking about, the guy who cast those parts. I think he's an eBay seller, maybe. Devlin, happy to see you, brother. Earthrise grapple, I can understand. I can absolutely understand. Just realized I look like Woody Harrelson. I don't think so, but there's worse people I could look like. Does that mean I look like Cletus Cassidy too? Put a red wig on. Could I pass for Cletus Cassidy? Better yet, could I pass for Carnage? He does not look like Carnage. I don't know, man. Carnage is pretty cool. I just got the Platinum Edition Triptychon. Yay. I think that's the G1 reissue, isn't it, Devlin? Good for you, man. That was a solid figure back in the day. Still a solid figure. 3D print, new rules for G1 Datsuns. The Astrotrain looks amazing. Can't wait to get it. We're going to talk about Astrotrain a little bit. I have thought he looks amazing too, but there's a big but there that we're going to address in a minute. You look more like the Harrelson when he played general in when he played a general in a monkey movie than Carnage. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, it was G1. Okay, so I'm going to run through a bunch of things here that I wanted to run through. Very first thing, and we talked about this a little while ago, Spider-Man is back in the MCU. I don't think anybody really doubted that was going to happen, although there was all this talk and hoopla. Look, here's the bottom line. Sony and Disney had a lover's quarrel. The world got mad at Sony. Sony backed off and said, okay, maybe we shouldn't do this because everybody's going to get mad at us. That's not good. And they struck a deal, and now everybody's making a butt ton of money, and they're all going to be happy. And we get another Spider-Man movie in the MCU. My guess is it's going to be more than just that one. And when this deal is up in a couple of years, I don't know, by then, Disney will probably buy Sony by then. I don't know, right? I don't think that either film company wants Spider-Man now to be rebooted outside of that. If anything, I think it would be beneficial for them to be able to also reach a deal to somehow incorporate Venom. What I would love to personally see is a series of films with Venom and Spider-Man kind of doing their own thing, but still both of them also being officially part of the MCU. Like they could have their own side story going on while events transpire in the MCU. So that's what I'm hoping for, but I'm happy to see him back in there. We know now as well, and I'll get this out of the way, that Unicron is funded, or so they say. Here's the thing. I don't believe for a second that in the last week they got about 3,000 more backers. That's nonsense. Anybody who believes that, I question how naive you are. They did not. I would venture to say that they lied and inflated the numbers because guess what? This thing was always going to get made. There was a glitch on the site that said it was funded 241% or something. It's not. They said it's actually funded more like 141%. No, it's not. But they made it look that way because you could not have a second failure on the books. There was never a threat that this wasn't going to get funded. If you're happy that it's funded and you backed it and you're cool with a small fortune being charged to you or your credit card or however it is you did it, good for you, I guess. A few people told me and said, like, we did it. And I was like, I didn't do it. I didn't go in on this. I don't even think it's a good figure. And the immediate reaction I got was, you're jealous. What am I jealous of? I don't like it. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's lazy. But that's me. If you're happy with it, great. But it's not for me. I don't see the appeal. It got back. Fans that are happy with it are getting it. God bless. We also got news, interesting news, if we go to the business pages, that apparently the U.S. is getting Toys R Us back, at least in a smaller form, and it's going to be under the banner of Target. Interesting, peculiar. Apparently the website is back up, from what I've heard. Fine, dandy. I still think that what they did was extremely slimy. I don't know if Target has bought Toys R Us or like what the deal is there, but if it's the same investors that were part of the original company, then I think it's very slimy that you declare bankruptcy just so you didn't have to pay your creditors and now you're starting up again. What a despicable business move. However, if the intellectual property that is Toys R Us was taken over by new owners, new leadership, and a new team, then I could see them starting from scratch, because they should not have to inherit the mistakes of the past, starting from scratch and saying, look, this is viable. Let's start off small. Let's see what we can build again. Now, I've heard that there are some moves that may affect Toys R Us Canada. I don't know if it will be in a big way or a small way. I do miss Target here, I'll say that. But I find very interesting that those two companies are linked down there. I'm not sure how it's going to transpire yet, but I do think going into the 2019 holiday season, this isn't a big surprise. What I have heard, and this is pure rumor, is that there will kind of be more like small sort of pop-up stores, maybe permanent locations, but they're going to be a lot smaller than what they once were. Take that for what it's worth. But I think there's a lot more to that story to unfold, and depending on kind of who's behind, who's pulling the strings. It's interesting to see how that plays out. What else do we have here? Shockwave Labs this week also presented an upgrade kit that's very peculiar and strange. Just this past week, I looked at the Ultimate Optimus Prime here on the channel from the Cyberverse line, and it's all right, but it's not exactly ultimate. They're doing a kit that gives him his blaster and his axe, which I think both look fantastic. I like what Shockwave Labs does. I have the set for the leg fillers for Big Powered, and I have the set for Soundwave. But I feel like this is a strange one to do. Like, okay, cool. If you're in for that Optimus, cool. I can tell you that the blaster looks phenomenal and the axe looks phenomenal for what that's worth. I'm just going to mark off a few of the topics here. I also said last week that Earthrise did not have pre-orders yet in Canada. They do have pre-orders in Canada. The only place I've seen them for pre-orders yet in Canada is through ages 3 and up. So again, take that for what it's worth if you are in Canada. And they're a little bit more expensive, just a little bit more expensive than, or at least the Leaders and I think Voyagers are a little bit more expensive than what they are at regular retail. So I guess it depends on how badly you actually want it. But that's a few things covered there. I'm just going to check back in with the chat here for a moment. Yeah, okay, it was David who asked about. So David, Maximal 10, work it out. We're not up yet to the Astrotrain, but we're going to get to it. Going down here. Just I'm glad, man, that the thumbnail cheered you up. That's what I was going for. Being devoured by Trypticon. Let's see. It should have been Voyager, not enough for leader class. Are you talking about Astrotrain? Wait till we get to him, Green Turtle Gaming. Though he does look brilliant. I will absolutely agree with you 100%. Also seeing in a movie, even he's hold on here, guys. Hold on just a moment. Bear with me here. Ooh. Also seeing Carnage in a movie, even teased with you know what, Carnage, I'd love for I assume Carnage is going to be the next Venom movie. I hope that there's more Venom in the next Venom movie, although I didn't mind the movie. I thought it was all right. They will save us from a reboot by bringing in Miles Morales. Now, you know what? Honestly, Kato, if they brought in Miles Morales, I'm cool with that too. I don't have a problem with that Spider-Man. I wouldn't even mind if they done Spider-Man 2099. Bring in Miguel O'Hara, man. I liked Spider-Man 2099. Going down here. YouTubes, yeah, I've gotten a lot of flack for my position on Unicron as well. There are a lot of diehards. In fact, just today, somebody commented on a post about the Rainmakers and said to me, like, you should be very thankful that Hasbro ships to Newfoundland. What? Why should I be thankful to a company to ship to me? It's a company. They should be looking to make sales. They should be falling over themselves to ship to me. I don't even understand why they don't ship for free. They should. I don't think that even paying for shipping is good enough, to be honest with you. But that's just me. Maybe I expect too much. You know, maybe I'm what do you call high maintenance, you know? Peter Parker doesn't have to be a kid each time. Peter Parker does not have to be a kid each time. That's true. After that, it was gonna look, they extended it. Green Turtle Gaming just said they extended it. After that, I was sure that they were going to make it because if it didn't, it would have gotten extended again. Absolutely would have. Look, here's the bottom line. It failed the end of August. Talking about Unicron, it failed the end of August. They didn't let it die because they had enough people suckered in, and they pushed it. And then they said, "Oh, all of a sudden we can do this and that and the other thing with it." And you know what? It's over. I'm glad we're not going to see any more posts on it, at least until it gets released. And I guess there'll be a scattered one here and there, but funded, not funded, whether you back it, whether you don't back it, whether you support it or not, whatever, man. I'm just glad that the chaos is done, at least for now. I still prefer the Zeta offering in every way imaginable, but that's me. You know what? I'm excited about Scorponok. There you go. I'm excited about Scorponok. Jeffrey's Toy Box is the name of some of the brick and mortar stores. Yeah, I've heard that Jeffrey's Toy Box was going to be the name of the actual stores rather than Toys R Us necessarily. Let's see. We used to have Target Green Turtle Gaming, but we don't anymore. They were here for a couple of years, and then a bunch of people complained and said, "You're so expensive." And they weren't. I mean, the difference was like something at Walmart was like $15.97 and something at Target was like $15.99. So 6 cents more expensive. It was ridiculous. And they had, unfortunately, they opened before they had good distribution channels, and they opened with stores understocked. That didn't help them. And they had a fiasco with the red card up here where something like 2 million people had like their personal information gone missing or shared or something. It was a real fiasco. They had a harsh start, and sadly they never recovered from it and ended up pulling out just a couple of years later from business up here and closed all 132 stores. I really wish they had just scaled back. Our store here was one of the, I believe, 75 that were being profitable, and they took them all away. That's too bad. I know in a lot of places in the country that they weren't doing well, but they were doing very, very well here, and I missed them all the time. I preferred going there. It was just a nicer shopping experience, and I always got Transformers there first. I don't even think it was 3 years, Maximal 10. I don't even think it stuck around for 3 years, man. Let's see. With the awesome burgers. David, I know what David's talking about. If you guys follow my Instagram, I very often put up food that we get from this food truck locally called Johnny and May's, and to amazing food. Amazing food. Now, the season is over up here. They're not open year round because our weather just doesn't really allow it, but I'm already excited about the spring. Jason, welcome. I can understand if somebody's not a fan of Cyberverse. I'm not a particular fan of Cyberverse, but I do think that the new toys coming up, the one with the Build-A-Figure for McAdams, they do look really good. They look more akin to Generations figures. Let's see. They just keep revealing more and more. They just kept revealing more and more of Unicron. I'm looking forward to Scorponok as well. Yeah, here's the thing. I think everybody can get on board with Scorponok. I hope everybody can get on board with Scorponok. I miss Zellers. Yeah, Marco, I miss Zellers too, man. Even though they were overpriced, but I miss Zellers. Let's see. I really captured the boyishness that, you know, Spider-Man would still have as much. And it was fun to watch. I like Spider-Man in all of his iterations. It was the first hero as a kid that I loved, and I guess it's just stuck with me my entire life. Okay, so going down through a bunch of these again, we had some reveals from third party this week as well. Not the least of which is X-Transbots showed a G2 dead end. I'm not sure why. Are they going to totally do their Menasor and G2 colors? They might, but I don't know how well that's going to come across or sell. I have heard mixed reviews over certain aspects of it, but overall, I think it's a stronger offering than what Fans Toys is doing. Neither are for me, but if I was in for either one, I would be going X-Transbots route. But that's just me. To each their own. Iron Factory also showed their Nemesis Prime. It's like Dark Commander or something, but it's their homage to Nemesis Prime, and he comes with like a cape. It's a mold reuse of, I think, like their God Ginrai stylized type of character, which in and of itself is fantastic. The Nemesis Prime repaint with the cape also looks fantastic. I love Iron Factory. If you're in for it, I think they do fantastic figures, but hey, that's just me. We also had Mech Fans Toys show their Legends class Rodimus Prime, and he can be the car for Hot Rod. He has his like cannon, or not cannon, his trailer. He can become Rodimus Prime. We also have, I believe, Firebolt in there, and it looks like the two guns of the cannon section of his trailer can probably attach to Firebolt to be another cannon. That's what it looks like anyway. I think it looks fantastic. The only thing that I'm curious about is the range of motion on the shoulders and just how good that is. But I think that it looks spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. And I'm looking down here because I'm marking stuff off as we get through it. And is that the only... if I didn't mention it, we also saw a Flame Toys Farai kit for Nemesis Prime. It's the Optimus Prime in black. If you like the Flame Toys Farai Optimus Prime kit, then you're going to like the Nemesis Prime one. It looks tremendous as well. It's basically G1, but a little bit stylized. We'll do the trivia question next. We have our trivia question. We haven't done it yet. We're going to do that next. In 1997, for BotCon 97, Stan Bush was asked to make an original song and perform it for the convention. Which song did he make in 1997? Was it Till All Are One? Was it Ground Zero? Or was it The Touch? Is that when The Touch was made? Which one? A, Till All Are One, B, Ground Zero, or C, The Touch? What did he do in 1997? While you guys think about that a little bit, I'm going to check in with the comments over here and see what you guys have been saying, because I know it's been rolling and scrolling up a little bit. But it'll give you a chance to think about that one for a moment. Trypticon, Godzilla. I don't care if Trypticon's Godzilla. I'm good with it. And I can't wait to add Scorponok. But Marco, I absolutely see why you would draw that comparison. I'd like to see Trypticon in a battle with Godzilla. That'd be cool. And Starscream gets a TF character. What? Then this is when Starscream Life, I assume he means wife, gets a TF character's name wrong. Trypticon. I don't even know what Cybermetic Geek is saying. What? When Starscream wife? Oh, I get it. Going back to when we played Name That Transformer, when Starscream wife gets a name wrong, we should have Trypticon, I guess, gobble her head. I don't know. Like, I assume he's referring to the thumbnail. Wow, we really went all over the map there. Yeah, 2099 would be good, Marco. I absolutely agree, buddy. The wife wants Trypticon. Personally, I am happy with Fort Max and Omega Supreme. As for Trypticon, I just want Full Tilt. Jason, if your wife wants Trypticon, then you get Trypticon. Give the lady what she wants. Plus, honestly, he's pretty fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. He's so hefty. He's so cool. I'm going to make a lot of people angry, but Tobey Maguire is not a bad adult Spider-Man at all. You know what? I liked the Tobey Maguire trilogy. I never, ever had I thought he was a great Peter Parker. I don't care if it makes people angry. I thought he was wonderful. Going down here. Scorpion is going to be my first buy from... Yeah, honestly, Jason, I think that Scorpion is going to be fabulous. I really hope that there's a way to incorporate the little like Titan Master that we got in the box set. Just because I have him, I'd like to be able to incorporate him. If I can't, I don't care. But it'd be nice if I could, you know? Revealing more and more. I'm looking forward to Scorpion as well. Oh, I went way back up there. Earthrise is the best thing that happened to Chuck in 5 years. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have a disdain for Combiner Wars or Titan's Return was a fabulous line. I didn't mind Power of the Primes. Yeah, there were a couple of misses there, but I didn't mind it. Siege was good, but I will say this: I can see where you is coming from when he says that Earthrise is the best thing, because it's giving us kind of molds that need to be updated and updating them in a more G1 aesthetic, and it looks fantastic. So yeah, I absolutely see it, man. Childhood memories with those Zellers. I agree, man. Absolutely. Sideswipe is a spy for Megatron. Where do you get this stuff, Cybermetic Geek? Sideswipe is a spy for Megatron? What? Let's see. It's closer to Halloween. Looks like mini masterpiece. I agree. The Mech Fan Toys Rodimus does look like a mini masterpiece. He's tremendous. The lights turned off behind me. That's Starscream wife turning off the lights. That's all. It got dark fast. My favorite version of Spider-Man. Okay, so again, running through some things here because I caught up. Nobody guessed the answer to the trivia question? Really? Nobody was able to guess that? The answer was B. Ground Zero was the sign that he came up with in 1997. I'm disappointed in you guys tonight, man. Bit disappointed in you guys tonight. Before we go on, I just want to have I missed it, David. I just want to have just a moment of silence here for Marshall Efron. He was the voice of G1 Hunger, at least the beast mode of Hunger. He passed away today at the age of 81. Not a huge part of our community, but a part of our community nevertheless. So we're going to do a little moment of silence there for him. Absolutely RIP. And moment is up, just out of respect. We also had shown this week Studio Series 49 Bumblebee. How many Studio Series Bumblebees can there be? This is a new mold. Is it going to taste just as bad? I don't know. I looked at the pictures of it. It looks fine, but the battle mask doesn't come off. And even if it's different, honestly, the transformation looks pretty darn similar. Maybe a couple of steps different. And I don't like the Studio Series Bumblebee. I don't think the new mold is going to be different enough to change my mind. Maybe I'm different. Though some people do like it, but like this is like the fourth? 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least the sixth, if not the seventh Bumblebee we've gotten in Studio Series. It's overkill. I don't know if anybody needs that many Bumblebees in their life. Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not your keeper. Maybe you collect nothing but Bumblebees. I don't know. I'm gonna get to Astrotrain, that Green Turtle Gaming mentioned earlier. And the Siege Astrotrain looks fabulous, except for two things. One, I think the battle damage is terribly done. It looks like he's a little child who splashed in a puddle. It's awful on the legs and feet. And I don't know how easy or hard it will be to remove, but it is among the worst battle damage I've seen. Then I knew he was going to be like Shockwave. Yeah, he's a Voyager with extra parts, and they're going to charge a later class price. We're all going to buy him because he looks fantastic. We're going to be suckers. Let's just admit it. And we're going to overpay for him, just like we did with Shockwave. And we're going to say the same thing. He costs too much, but he's pretty much perfect. Then I saw an image that Thu had. If Thu didn't put it up, then he commented on it. And that's what I saw through. And I was flabbergasted how much smaller the Siege Astrotrain is compared to the Titan's Return. Like, significantly smaller. It is the difference. I would say the head of the Siege Astrotrain might come up to the chest of the Titan's Return one. Might. But that's a big might. He's very small. Very small. I have a feeling that he's nowhere close to leader class size. But I see a trend happening. Here's what I think is going to happen. Going forward, you give us 2 or 3 years. Commander class will shrink in size, and it will be the size of what we think of as leader class. Things like Power of the Primes, Optimus Prime, and Rodimus Prime, and Titan's Return, Overlord. Commander class will eventually shrink to that, I believe, and it will be the new leader class at that higher price point. I think traditional leader class is going to shrink and become the new Voyager class at that price point. I think that Voyager will shrink and become the new Deluxe, except at that much higher price point. And I think Deluxe will shrink a little bit, maybe with characters like Cliffjumper, and will become the new Legends class. And instead of a Legends class figure being $12.99 here in Canada, the equivalent of a Legends class figure will all of a sudden be $29.99. I think that's where they're slowly going. We'll see over time, but I feel like that's the trend we're going to see. And they're going to try and do it very slowly and be like, the fans won't notice. And most people won't notice. I'll notice. You'll notice now that I've mentioned it, but most people won't notice. Nevertheless, I think that the Astrotrain looks phenomenal. If you haven't seen the image I'm talking about, I don't know. Search for it. You know, Siege versus Titans Return Astrotrain. And actually, I don't think it was the Titans Return. I think it was the Legends Astrotrain. You'll see that it's surprisingly smaller. Surprising. I was really shocked with the size difference, actually. But that's just me. Let's see. That's Astrotrain done. And that's that done. We are just about finished. We have one more topic to talk about. We also done Toys R Us. We only have one more topic to talk about, and then we can get out of here, guys. But it's perhaps the most controversial topic, even though it's a short topic. I'm just going to check in with what you guys have been saying as we've been going through here. Let's see. I should have rang the bell in his honor. You're right. There was what? There are no QC issues with it so far. I'm all for it. No QC issues. I'm not sure on what. You know what? He added to the franchise. He added to the childhood of a lot of us, David. So that's why I wanted to kind of pay a little bit of homage to him and a little bit of respect. I tried to do that when members of our community, passed away, because they were members of our community, big or small. Definitely was not the touch, David. You were right. Snoke, happy to see you here, my friend. Most definitely going to grab that Astro. I'm going to grab it too, but you should really see the picture, Devlin. He's tinier than Shockwave. I think he is tinier than Shockwave, significantly so. We have been waiting to Best Chug, Hot Rod, and Blitzwing. Best Chug, Hot Rod, and Blitzwing. Titans Return, Hot Rod, hands down. And for me, the Generations Blitzwing, even though I use the Titans Return Blitzwing, I think the Generations one. I like it better, even though one of the Scraplets inherited that one. He claimed it, laid claim to it, so I got stuck with the Titans Return one. And while a lot of people love the Titans Return one, both of my arms fell off. Now, luckily, they are just pinned in, so I was able to put the pins back in, but come on. Both of his arms fell off. I don't know. I honestly, I think that there's still room to improve on Blitzwing. I don't think we've gotten a perfect Blitzwing. POTP, Power of the Primes Rodimus, is not wowing you. That's because he's junk. That's why he's not wowing you. Let's see. Glad the action figure YouTube channels are going strong, and a lot of ones I have been watching in the past for other topics have gone offline. Interesting that a lot of people have vanished. Maximal 10. That's sad, though. I used to love Mitch Santona. You don't see him anymore because apparently he had a kid, and apparently his child takes up a lot of his time or something. But he was a great guy. Legends Astrotrain is pretty nice too, and close to the Siege price, I think. You know what? That's an option. Snoke just said that the Takara Astrotrain, I assume that the Legends one, is pretty nice, and it's close to the price of the Siege one. Yeah, honestly, I could see people opting for that one instead because he is bigger, even if the train motor on that one is a little wonky. Let's see. Still buy them. I already did notice it. Oh, okay. Well, if you noticed it, then you noticed it, man. Let's see. At least Shockwave has stuff to make him look somewhat. I don't want Shockwave to look. I want Shockwave to look like Shockwave. I don't. Those arms and all that junk. You know where all that is? Just in a bag. It was no need. What a waste of plastic. You want to have a save in plastic? Don't make that junk. Make good stuff. There you go. That's what I'm going to say. Let's see. Oh, hey, Inutabi. It was Inutabi, I think, who I first saw. I think, was it you that I said that I first saw Mirage? You were giving me my first look at him. I thought. Maybe it was Kato. I'm not sure. It was one of you guys. I'm going to check the weight of Astrotrain. I remember Siege Ultra Magnus was heavier than Combiner Wars. It was. Siege Ultra Magnus was heavier than Combiner Wars Larkin. You're right, even though he was shorter and it was more mass, and that's why I said he was innocent. Shockwave was only 215 grams. I suspect Astrotrain is going to be much lighter as well. And a regular traditional leader class, I think, was like 310 grams, something like that. I could be wrong, but I think it was about that. Going down here, again, trying to, your arms. Yeah, my arms fell off. Both pins on the arms of my Titan's Return Blitzwing just fell off. Like I wasn't even doing anything. I was just like moving them forward and back, and the pins worked their way out and fell off. And when it first happened, I panicked, and then I realized it's just pins, and I put them back in. They're big pins. They haven't fallen off since because I put them in real tight, and I also put a little bit of glue on them, just a little bit, not enough that's going to really hold, but enough to make it stiff. And I put the glue on it because it's metal. It's been good, but they shouldn't have fallen off to begin with. Skybite, hi, happy you're here, buddy. And Devlin, let's see, I display my Shockwave without those accessories as well. Yeah, I don't like those weird arms that came with Shockwave. Last topic of the night, the most controversial one. A lot of people love it, and I see why, but a lot of people also have a lot of disdain for it. And that is and I want to make sure I say the name right, Big Firebird Toys NICEE. It is their homage to Arcee that has been way, in some people's estimation, overly sexualized. The sculpt is way over the edge. Let's get things straight. I like Arcee. I really respect that she was, like, I'll say the first major female character in Transformers. Now, I know we had, Carly, and I know we had Alita 1 and her team in that one episode, but in terms of being popularized and well-known, she's kind of like the first lady of Transformers. And I think that what they've done does show a lot of attention to detail, does show a lot of talent for design. There's no doubt about it. I think the paint looks phenomenal on it. I think the alt mode looks tremendous. And I think the articulation looks excellent. But the proportions and the shape leave a bad taste like in my mouth when it comes to liking that figure. It makes me feel like it's inappropriate. I see why some people really like, but I've even seen a lot of comments that are inappropriate, and it makes me uncomfortable about it. And I have Starscream wife has said that she finds it distasteful. I've shown it to a couple of people who have said that are not, in our Transformers community, that have said that's not right. It's not right. It is expensive. I think it is masterpiece intended, so it's probably more intended for adult collectors than it is for kids. But the chest is huge. Even the shape of the hips and thighs are very, I don't know, like it's the sort of thing that I feel like women have been combating against for a long time in terms of body image issues. I mean, this thing even has a molded in belly button. Like, I don't know. Like, I see the appeal, but like, it's like the designer is really talented, but like, also like, I don't know, missing something in his life, a little bit passive aggressive. I don't know. But while I respect the good things about it, and I can understand why some people would be drawn to it, I feel like the execution of the mold has enough proportion issues with it that it makes it, unfortunately, distasteful. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who feels that way, but I don't think so, because I've heard other people express the same thing. I think she's a very polarizing figure. You either love the figure or you really don't. I'm not here to judge it. I'm just here to say that it's something that I felt like should be addressed because people have asked me my thoughts about it. And so I figured, why not just cover it here, man? So there you go. I respect the alt mode. The transformation I've heard is pretty good. I think the articulation is great. I don't really like the sculpt because I find it distasteful. That's just me. Let's check back in with you guys and see what you guys have to say. If you even commented on that, I don't know. David going down here. Past the new leader class complete. Jetfire was Jetfire is amazing. I got mine, however, on sale. I got him for the price Canadian that he is. Like the 80 that you paid, I got him a little bit less even than that Canadian. Kato, let's see. Going down here. Yeah, Kato mentioned that Inu Tabi done a nice Mirage review, and he did do a nice Mirage review. Galaxy Upgrade Prime deserved to be leader class. I agree. Ultra Magnus and Galaxy Upgrade Prime do deserve to be leader class. The mass of plastic is there. It makes sense. I get it for those guys. Going down here. I doubt I'm going to love the picture you sent, Cybernetic Geek, but you know, you sent it anyway, I'm sure. If you want overly sexualized, you just need to remember, yeah, there's that 3P upgrade chest for those RCs, the rubber ones. We all know it. I think that's distasteful too. Don't turn the franchise into something scuzzy. There you go. I said it. Don't make it scuzzy, man. Poor RC. Yeah, I agree. In the vein of weird anime designs for female. Yes, now David said it right there. That RC is definitely in the vein of weird anime designs for females. Yes, it absolutely is. With those proportions, it absolutely is. There's a market for it. I'm just not part of the market for it. Yeah, I agree. It is too sexualized. It's not for me, man. Someone wanted to cross RC with Jessica Rabbit. Somebody wanted to cross RC with Jessica Rabbit, and that's exactly what they did. Absolutely. Although the head sculpt is nice, so I'll give it that. Totally agree with you, Dennis. Really not a fan of it. That's what Sam said. Snoke, yeah, I like original look of RC. Yeah, I agree. I like the original look of RC too. Skybite, what do you have to say, my friend? The figure's proportions are just too human-like. She needs to be more robotic. She do need to be more robotic. And not only are they human-like, but like they're human like somebody who's had a lot of plastic surgery and, you know, is probably on like tabloid magazine covers and stuff. Like, you know, like that's what it feels like to me. Let's see. Don't make it. I don't know what SCS means. I don't know. Joker, you're coming in, man, like right as we are kind of cluing up here. Talk about timing. I think Siege, Green Turtle Gaming, I think Siege Magnus is the first time since G1 that he is a white prime with a trailer that becomes armor. It is. You're absolutely right, Green Turtle Gaming. Now, for me, I like the Combiner Wars one better, but I also have the KO of the PC-17, so I have the white cab Optimus there. But the Siege one is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when I've done the review, he's fantastic, and I can see the argument for having him. And if he's your Ultra Magnus, more power to you. He's a great figure, no doubt about it. The MMC RC is super close to my eyes to the best RC. I agree. But MMC does a nice job. I'd love to have Salvia Promenon just because I'd like to have a Solus Prime. Plastic surgery addict. Yeah, she's a plastic surgery addict. Sorry, I had to work. Joker, man, you got a life, man. You got to work, you know? We all got to work. Oh, Scuzzy. Yeah, it is. Maximal 10. Yeah, I don't make it Scuzzy. KBB Core Magnus. There you go. There you go. Okay, guys. Look, that's it. It's been a blast. You know that I absolutely love when you guys come around. This has been fun. We got through everything. Eddie, I know you're just coming in, my friend. RC always seems hard to pose and to stand in general with those high heel type feet. She does. I agree. Although I do love my Generations RC. Some people like the Titan's Return blur reuse, but I love my Generations RC. I don't see replacing her. Anyway, guys, I'm out. You know that I love spending this time with you guys. I appreciate you coming by. As always, thank you for giving me some of your very valuable time. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, there's a donate link down in the description. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every day, you do make a difference. And I very much look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either right here in the live streams at the stop motion premieres. I am working on episode 6 for you guys. Or as always, inside the videos.